Who was the worst babysitter you ever had?
Ooh, bad babysitters.
Bad babysitters.
Well, I gotta say, I don't think I really had a bad babysitter.
What?
Not when I was growing up. There's a whole bunch to this. There's the, who was your babysitter? Were they good or bad? When you were a babysitter, were you good and bad?
Yeah.
And now that you have babysitters for your kids, are they good or bad?
Yeah.
And what makes them good and what makes them bad?
Absolutely. Well, I think what makes them bad is stuff like not listening to the parental rules. We recently had a babysitter who we said no iPad.
Right.
And in bed by 9. We came home at 10:30 and there was my kid on the iPad up.
Right.
10:30. And she had literally been on the iPad from the time we left at 4:30 until then.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Not a happy mama.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, generally speaking, when I do have a babysitter come in, I'm more likely to be like, if they want to go, like, just keep them happy.
Yeah.
Like
breathing.
Like keep them happy if they want to fall asleep on the couch. I'm like, don't worry so much about the rules. I can deal with that when I get home.
Okay.
Just, I don't want to be getting the call saying this kid's crying and misses you and wants you home. I know what it's like because there's so many of them that it's survival mode, right?
Yep.
And I have to say, when they were a little bit younger, we were a 2 babysitter job. Like if we went
out,
out,
have 6 kids.
Yeah. If we went out, we had to hire 2 babysitters.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
I think they kind of kept each other accountable too. And then, some are better with littler kids, some are better with babies, some are better with biggies, so they can kind of divide and conquer that way.
I was always really good with like babies and toddlers. I babysat everyone in Burlington, I think. Mm-hmm. Greg, my husband, and I were joking because every time we go to Burlington, I'm like, I used to babysit at that house.
Same.
I used to babysit at that house. I used to babysit there. And he's like, is there anyone you didn't babysit? So then my grandma died, 102 years old. And the minister shows up at the graveside, and I said, "You're not going to believe this. I used to babysit her."
No.
Yeah, I did. I babysat her. Yeah, so true story. I babysat all of Burlington.
Well, I did too, but there's a lesson there as well. Like, so I babysat for this one family, and then I would play with all the kids on the street. Like, I'd be out there, and then all the other mothers would see how good I was. I'd get like 3 calls for Friday night, and I'd be like, I'm already booked with the so-and-sos. They'd be like, you are mine. Ooh. How dare they? And it is true. I've had friends say, can I get your babysitter's number? And I say, absolutely not.
No. We went through that with our nanny, and I've heard like the craziest stories. Like, people will honestly try to offer your nanny like to pay her RSPs. Just to get her away.
Somebody tried to poach my nanny at the mall. They saw her at the mall with my kids and she was so good. And they said, whatever, you have all those kids. I've only got 2. Come work for me.
You're like, but I charge per head.
Yeah.
I lose some coin there.
Nanny does all right.
So I had a babysitter in the 70s, Lillian, who used to let us have cookies for breakfast.
Nice.
And she used to let us stay up till like probably just before my parents came home. Like,
right.
They didn't have cell phones back then, so I don't know how she knew. But I watched some pretty crazy horror stories. And then I would have like all these nightmares and be afraid of the dark. My mom would be like, I don't understand.
Yeah, look, that's funny. I had a friend also whose nanny would actually, like, she'd get home. It was just a daytime nanny. And she'd get home and she'd see that on the, I don't know, not the PVR, but when you can record and you see what been viewed and stuff?
Yeah.
It was all horror movies during the day.
Okay.
When the kids are home.
What?
What? Aren't you
there's
babysitting?
So many things you can do during the day.
Yeah.
It's nighttime.
Maybe kid was napping. I don't know.
I used to watch, like, when I would put the kids to bed when I was babysitting, I used to watch, like, Halloween and Black Christmas. All stories where babysitters got killed.
Yeah, remember When a Stranger Calls?
Yes!
Did you check the children?
Yeah.
The children?
And I would be like,
bad.
Nope, I'm leaving.
No. Like, my rule is you're not on your phone. I was home with the little ones, and she was maybe more a mother's helper. She kept going on her phone. I'm like, you know what? Not on. I actually feel pretty vulnerable having babysitters in the home before my kids can talk. When they're babies and stuff, I always feel just a little bit not at ease.
I agree. Like, now Maddie can tell me what her night was like.
Yeah.
Like, it was like iPad phenomena. But so my situation with this babysitter is we live in an area where we don't have a lot of babysitters. Like, you could literally get your Harvard education paid for if you lived on my street and were a babysitter. A good one. This babysitter, I did lay out the rules and they were all broken. And I had to pay like $100 for the night. So I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
If we got into a situation where we had to in a crunch user again, I literally would not.
Really?
Nope.
I was going to
wouldn't.
say, she's drunk on power, man. She can be like, fine, don't
drunk
hire me. You got 2 kids next door. You got
Well,
another kid there.
that's where the bad news is,
Okay.
because people have come to me and said, what do you think of so-and-so?
Right.
What do you do?
Yeah.
In different homes, in different families, she might be better, but in my house, my rules, like I have certain
Yeah.
rules, they were broken. And then I came home to find my child still up about 2 hours past her bedtime.
Yep.
Your kids are your precious cargo, and if someone is just sort of abusing that opportunity,
No, for sure.
To make
I'm
some
just
money,
thinking I think in this situation, it's a supply and demand issue.
yeah.
Like, there's a huge demand and no supply. So she's going, oh, yeah, I can put them on the iPads.
I think it's important that you share that word of mouth with your neighbors.
Absolutely.
because
And moms talk, let's face it.
moms talk, but you don't want someone else's kid to have an accident because of neglect, and then
Right.
you are the jerk
It's
that
on
didn't tell
you.
them. Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
about you? Do you have any bad babysitter stories? Were you a bad babysitter? Did you have good bad babysitters? Share with us.
Yeah. Did you check on the kids?
Did you check the children? And subscribe.
Yes, it's easy. Just click below, and we will see you next time. Okay.
Were you a good babysitter?
I was an excellent
Me too.
babysitter. I was in high demand.
I was top shelf, man.
Yeah.
Top shelf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why you went on to have your own
That's
community.
right. Yeah.